Action failed.
All right, so
Guys,
I should be
Walter
live on YouTube as well.
turned down for what is Walter's middle name?
DJ no request.
DJ No Request.
Let's see.
There we go. Autumn, try just muting Walter.
He's about to get paused in 1 minute. Yeah. God, I feel like the energy's been zapped out of DeFi this last week. Like even like
Feel the opposite.
really? I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just like a lot of the Ask Me Anythings I've been attending with other people and stuff, and it's just like not that many people are active. Everybody's like doomsday, and yeah, like I was even listening to the Trader Joe thing, the Trader Joe Ask Me Anything on Twitter, and like it's just all doomsday shit, man.
Tough time to be an investor.
Yeah, it is, but let's see. So we had a lot of questions. So we can go ahead and start. So, welcome everybody to Tusk Talk number 6 on this beautiful Friday evening. The markets.
Walter.
Oh, yeah. Let me pause him. I know people won't be able to
I
hear.
got you.
You just backslash pause. Yeah, so, with everything going on in the, the macro economy, there was a lot of things. Inflation rate obviously was higher than anticipated. I think we hit 8.6 and it was supposed to be, or what they were guessing was 8.3. And, I'm no professional, but I'm pretty sure, when these situations occur, it means that the Fed's is going to have to hike up the rates. Am I correct in that understanding, Dylan, that they have to try and taper inflation even more because is it something similar to that?
That has yet to be decided. But there is nothing to be happy about in today's CPI news. The Fed will most likely react, but hopefully it's not an overreaction. Because 8.3 to 8.6, it was to be expected. It was going to be higher, but they're definitely going to keep raising interest rates.
Yeah. So, obviously not good news. And whenever the U.S. market kind of gets hit, then the crypto market feels it, and this was no different. Bitcoin dropped, AVAX dropped. So, I saw a lot of questions in the Ask Me Anything chat, and I'm going to go through every single one of them. I think I saw Devil posting up a ton and a couple other people, and I just want to say I really appreciate that. I really like questions like that, expansions like that, so that I'm able to explain myself and kind of gives me more of a structure to being able to answer like really dedicated questions. So if you're asking stuff in the AMA chats, just know that I appreciate that. It really does help. Karen said 50% inflation next year. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that whenever they calculate those CPI data, they don't include like fuel or groceries. And I'm pretty sure both of those are hiked up to hell, right? Gas is like up 50% already.
I think fuel is actually up 106% is what I read this morning.
Yeah, I was speaking to
since last year.
I was speaking to Let's Go Brando, and he said over in Tennessee that diesel's at like $6. It's insane. So, obviously there's a lot. There's a lot to unpack with the macro economy. There's everybody's worried, and I understand it. Just know that I'll be here building Frozen Walrus regardless of the macro economy, right? I think we have a little slice of heaven in DeFi, especially as deep as like AVAX DeFi and projects like this. It's really community oriented, and there's always going to be more people looking for new investments in DeFi. Will it be to the strength that you get in a bull market? Of course not. But we build now to be prepared for the bull market. And that, people have difference of opinions, but I don't think DeFi is going anywhere, right? So I feel completely comfortable being in DeFi full time. There's going to be tough times and there's going to be really good times, but that's the risk you take on as a DeFi investor. That's a topic I wanted to speak about. Well, maybe it's not good for an Ask Me Anything, but regardless, I'm still passionate and caring for my community, and I love what I do, and I love being here, and thinking of new ways to benefit you all as holders, and benefit the protocol for longevity. So plenty to cover tonight. I guess we should probably start with our TVL growth, which obviously I'm extremely excited for. We hit the 1 milli for the third time. So if you don't go to these sites that I made, which, I kind of gas up because I was super hyped to make them, our amazing mod team updates this daily. It's a really good use of seeing, over time, the stability of Frozen Walrus. And I think that's really good for investors to see when they're just coming in. Like, hey, here's a little quick topic of like how many people were in the boardroom, how many people were in different LPs, the total TVL. So if you don't look at these daily, I would recommend it. They usually are updated around this time. So we posted today at 1.07 mil, and our all time was 1.098, which I think we're past now. Obviously, we're at 1.14. So, congrats everybody for a new all-time high on our total TVL. Excellent to see that our TVL is doing exactly what I had said. Week over week, we want that slow growth, and we have gotten almost 2,000 Discord members in 3 weeks. We will be 1 month old a week from today. 1 month of Frozen Walrus already, and it feels great. I feel like we're getting our legs. We have a lot of things left to come. I feel like I'm shipping a lot of shit. I hope that you all feel the same way. I'm really trying to work with all the different partners that we have to be able to constantly provide something new and fresh and ways to grow your positions or manage them differently, and give you new exciting ways to do that. So I hope that you all see that, because that's what I'm really trying to do. And I feel like we're doing that. And one of those obviously being something that I just dropped 5 minutes ago, which was LP nodes. So it's something that me and LB, the owner of Great Finance, the main dev over there, we're very close and we speak daily. And we always wanted to do something with Walrus and Grape, right? And we debated and we said, what benefits us both? And originally we were going to do Walrus Grape LP pool in both, and then give you dual rewards. But really, that doesn't really help the treasury, because it doesn't help both users, Grape and Walrus, because we have to dilute the farms at that point to give you more of the share emissions. And I felt that was unfair with Grape. And we are very early on, so it could be bad on us as well to split LP or split emissions up at this point. So we debated and kept thinking of what we could do. And so he was like, well, we could just do a node, right? And we could do a node that you do Walrus Grape node. And we do it like that. We can host it on both sites. So it will be available on both sites with the same TVL. And the good news about that is that the treasuries of both Grape and Walrus, we don't need more Grape and Walrus. So we can use that 20% that we would normally take from normal nodes, and we can just burn the supply. So not only do you grow your position of Grape and Walrus up to 500%, but you also get the awesome feeling of knowing that you're taking Walrus and Grape off the open market, thus increasing the intrinsic value of exactly what you're gaining. So I felt like it was a really cool thing that we were able to implement. LB's working on it. It shouldn't take much longer. We originally said maybe this weekend, but he had some extra things to do, and I didn't want to put pressure on him. So that's why it says coming soon instead of this weekend. But I have no doubt LB's kind of like a workhorse, man. He just never quits. So he's probably not even sleeping. He's not online right now, but I guarantee he's coding. He's not sleeping. He probably codes in his sleep. The guy's a genius. So I'm really happy to be able to ingrain ourselves deeper with the Grape community. So many of you all have shown like unwavering support for me from the Grape community. And I feel like, now instead of like having just Walrus setting out or whatever else you want to do, you're able to pair it with Grape that you're already getting. And if you're not investing in Grape, then you get the benefit of knowing what Grape is from my community. And vice versa, maybe, they feel the same about, advertising Walrus, because we are really intricate partners and we work, together deeply. So, yeah, I'm really excited to bring those notes to you guys. I think it's going to be really cool. And I guess the better topic is you get a prize, like always, like all nodes. We wanted to do dual reward prizes. So the top noder of each week will get, I think it's 3 wine and 5 Walrus shares. So about, a little over $1,000 that you get. And I think that's pretty damn good rewards, and you get them on 2 share tokens. So you're able to use those in whatever capacity you want. And then we'll do some regard of some random noder every single week as well. So, there's tons of good reasons to keep noding up. And it's just benefiting both protocols significantly. So I'm really happy that we're bringing that out. And I wanted to touch on Treasury, right? I know we have some dedicated questions to it, but I think it's best that I talk about my Treasury management style and beyond Treasury management style and what we're looking for and what we're looking to achieve, right? So obviously we have things that we're going to do in the future, like the trading card game, NFTs, et cetera, et cetera. And we're still looking for some type of revenue generating platform to be able to constantly feed the Treasury without having to use native assets to sell in the open market, rebates, whatever else the normalcy of a Treasury does. We obviously have those things in the works, but the Treasury that I want to grow over this year of emissions, it's going to entail a lot of things. And one of those is that I want to own over half the supply of all LP. And there's a reason for that. It's going to take time and it's going to take management. But the reason we are doing that is so that eventually emissions end and then Tomb Forks don't know what to do. Well, I want to have the utilities in place that Walrus can be used in a lot of different capacities. And it doesn't rely on any investors to be incentivized with their LP. The Treasury can keep Walrus trading constantly. So if you use it for the trading card game, because obviously it'll be completely enclosed with Walrus. If you use it for whatever else we develop, you'll be able to trade your Walrus and we don't have to worry about the Tomb Fork scenario. But of course there will still be a boardroom. It'll still be printing, but we don't have to worry about incentivized LP. So that's one of the things that we will be working towards. And I saw a lot of people question the AVAX decision or wonder about, what are we going to do and blah, blah, blah. Well, that sounded bad, but not blah, 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 but they had expanded on it. The reason we invested in AVAX at these prices is because I believe in AVAX. I put the proposal out because I wanted to know if you all believed in AVAX. We're building on AVAX, and I really want to be ingrained in the AVAX community side. So we are not looking to make just a bunch of boom, boom, boom purchases of AVAX. I have a year to get this validator if that's what we choose as, a DAO voted community, right? Every single AVAX purchase will, of course, be brought up to you all for DAO allocations so that we can purchase those. If it's not a good time or the market's shaky, then let it be known and vote with your shares. I'll try and make sure that we're putting out proposals. I feel like $20 to $25 is a bargain price. Could it drop to $10? Sure. I mean, Bitcoin can drop to $5. But the important thing is that we're building through this bear market. So we will build into a new bull market. And then all this AVAX, would it be better to buy it at $10 or $20? Yes. But we're going to DCA in. And if we can afford a validator node, then, that's kind of the end goal, so that we can get more ingrained with the community of AVAX and be a more solidified project. So obviously, the treasury management style that we have, we allocate some to Bitcoin and some to Ethereum, but we have a lot of native assets, and so our treasury right now is about $250K. Now, about half of that is actual just native assets, not LP'd or anything, and then about 25% of that is native protocol on liquidity, and then another 25% is in stable coins and Ethereum, AVAX, whatever else. So that's kind of our distribution right now, and it takes time to build that growth, and it'll be really important whenever we get to a revenue generation, that we're able to, develop these products that we can constantly feed the treasury and gain more stables, use some of that to do protocol and liquidity. We'll continue to do rebates and use the treasury to sell into higher TWAP, to reduce the risk of impermanent loss, and also to make sure that the treasury is healthy. But it does take time, and I'm more conservative about my sales. But we want to make sure that the treasury's ready, right? We want to make sure that the treasury's healthy, ready, and be prepared for any kind of market downturn. But I want a big runway of if Walrus goes under peg for quite some time, which I'm not saying that will happen, but I am preparing for it. That we're able to take some of that supply off the market. We're able to use the treasury in a way that we can benefit holders and show that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and that we support the protocol. So, that's kind of the way that I'm looking at the treasury. Build protocol and liquidity, but also make sure you have a bag of stables for development and for new products. What I do right now, everything I'm trying to do is just trying to expand the brand and expand Frozen Walrus, and that takes money, of course. So we're making sure that we're allocating some to that, and that's yeah. Hopefully that explains the treasury management style that I take. Is there anybody that wants to raise their hand, or I guess Dylan, you can go ahead and ask a question on Ask Me Anything chat or YouTube, whatever.
Looks like you do have a hand.
Oh, okay, cool. I feel like I need to pronounce. Is it Rocket? Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Well, we had just talked in the DMs, but how are you?
Yeah. Doing great, man. And it's funny you brought up the treasury too, because like it was good timing, and that was actually one of the questions that I wanted to dig into a little bit more. Really appreciate kind of diving into like what you're doing with it and why. It makes a ton of sense. I was wondering if you could just talk about kind of some of the process and or like more like the markers that you look for in either like like you said, right, in developing new products and developing new features, things that are coming down the line, but also some of the investments, right? Even before they come to the community, what are some of those like key markers, things you're looking for that would make either a good next development for the protocol or a good investment for some of that treasury to be yielding back into the protocol?
Yeah, man, that's actually a really good question. So I'm by no means some suave investor, right? But I know people that are, and that's the networking that I've done. So like right now we've just done an AVAX investment, right? That was a no-brainer to me because of AVAX's price, and I feel like if we're on AVAX, then we should support AVAX. So we bought it. So that wasn't really a difficult decision. Now, more difficult decisions are going to be like revenue generating ones where we invest into protocols where we expect to take some type of revenue back from it, gain profit from it. So when we're looking into that, I'll probably take counsel first off for before I bring it up to the community to make sure it's a good investment. And honestly, I would like to make sure that the proposal has kind of a guideline of when we'll get our return of investment, the type of management we'll do with that position. Say we opened up a 25 grand grape MIM LP, right? And we farmed it. I would like to make sure that we had like a structured plan of like how we're going to be selling it, making sure that, it's proven that we're not going to be malicious, that we're going to use it to the protocol's benefit, but also to the treasury and gain revenue like that. So those proposals that I'll be coming up with will, I hope, be pretty fancy in a way that it describes it well enough so that anyone looking at it can be like, okay, I see exactly how this benefits me as a walrus holder, and the protocol and the treasury. So that's kind of how I want to take on new proposals and investments. But again, that won't be for some time because I feel like right now we need to accrue stable coins and get, a backing in our treasury first before we start looking at like making large treasury purchases. So yeah, does that explain it?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks. I appreciate you diving into that.
Yeah, no problem.
And then I guess my other question was really around, I thought it was really cool how you guys were doing the partnership on the LP nodes for Grape. Like that seems like a really neat way to go. Are there, I was actually thinking about that earlier. I was going to ask if there was other partnerships that you're specifically looking at, whether that be with like particular dexes or any other protocols out there that, may be coming down the pipe. And maybe you can't talk about them now, but I was just curious if that was like one of the strategies.
Yeah. So, I speak to a couple blue chip protocols. Nothing solidified yet, but of course, I'm always trying to network and find ways to, to work with the bigger leagues to get more eyes on Walrus. And there's also some other partnerships with, I keep a big circle of people around me, of people that I trust, like LB from Grape and the entire Grape team, Magic. They have a lot of things in the works, and of course, they want to include Walrus in that in some capacity. So of course, there'll be future partnerships with that. there's stuff like with Dibs Money, being able to go cross chain and having a friend over on the BSC side and the orbital swap side. I'm looking at potentially getting, Walrus BUSD pairs listed on Orbital for orb tokens of some extent. That's not confirmed. I'm just letting you know because I'm super transparent. That's something I'm trying to do when we go cross chain. And then also we can probably get like allocated farms on the Dibs to get, D share with them also being able to use farms here on our side. So, I'm always looking for opportunities. I have many meetings a day with as many people that will let me speak to them. Right. So yeah, it's always something that I'm working towards to strengthen our brand, our community, and how many people know about us. Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I noticed, I know Grape did a partnership agreement with Swapsicle, and then they're actually talking about going cross chain now in the next pretty soon. So there's a lot going on there. It seems to be good on both sides, right? Because Grape brought a lot of liquidity over to Swapsicle, and Swapsicle is airdropping a lot of tokens back to those, whoever's staking over there. So it's pretty cool, just some of the ways that things work out mutually beneficial. But that was pretty much all I had. You guys are doing awesome, loving the project, so appreciate it.
Thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate you coming up. All right. If anybody wants to raise their hand, I have plenty more to speak about, but of course I'll always pause to listen. Dylan, you want to go ahead and ask another question?
You want me to scroll up to the questions I got asked this morning?
Please do, yeah.
Put me to work, huh?
Yeah, man.
All right, hold on. Let me.
I answer the questions, you find them. This is the job description.
Fair. All right. OWeb TV Crypto wants to know. I want to move my LP to Magic Farm, but the withdrawal fee is still showing. Okay, we already answered that one though. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the first one. Devil, we'll hit the first of Devil's questions because he had quite a few. I hope he's in here.
I think he is, or I think he might not be a good time for him, and I think he listens to him, if I'm not mistaken, okay. But I could be wrong.
As long as he listens to him. All right, question for the AMA. Dex Finance on BSC is building a one-click process that automates all the intricacies of a tomb fork. My God, they're putting my English to work. I.e. peg farm, share farm, BR, take profits. This will bring a lot of new users that don't need to learn seigniorage protocols. Is this something we can do?
I'm gonna have to read over it because I think I know what he means, but I just want to make sure that I'm not.
I guess what he's saying is you can stake your share token, and just immediately start taking profits.
Yeah, so something that I had wanted to do that is a huge contract audit needed because of security was, honest to God, this is the actual truth. I presented it like this. I said that I wanted a button that it just says, you put in USDC, locks you for 45 days, and it automatically works for the protocol. The protocol manages it at that position, and it allows you a static return of 15, 20%, whatever the lockup is. And you get that back in USDC. So similar to how Hair finance right now, you can dollar cost average into Hair and dollar cost average out. The protocol does it for you. I wanted one that did it all for Tomb Fork so that you could literally just say, I'm going to put 1,000 USDC in. I'm only expecting 1,250. Right. And you get a 45-day lockup. If it goes over that, then the protocol keeps the extra revenue, and stuff like that. So of course I wanted to do something similar to that regard. That's a thought that I had. But I'm being told that is very difficult on a contract standpoint to audit and make secure, because you're interacting with so many contracts. Is it possible? Probably. But there is something that we are trying to do that lets you one click claim everything. And possibly do some type of management of your position in that regard. That's something me and the Dibs team have discussed. But I think I'd have to look at Dex Finances to see exactly what the dynamic is there. But that sounds really cool.
I'm all about it. Got a compliment on the mic. Compounder says it's a good quality mic. It's the same one. I just changed some settings, like a mix master. All right, let's see here. Let me scroll back up. Felix wants to know, thank you for giving me the floor. What is the new peg? Sincerely, Felix.
Oh man, we're so close to releasing it. Listen, there's just a couple other things that I want to tidy up, and again, I've explained it a couple of times. Felix, I know you're just joking half that time, but I just don't want to back myself into a corner where I release the peg token, something were to happen, and then I am in a position where I've committed to something, and it looks.
We have literally seen this before.
Yeah, so exactly with I feel like I've made a mistake on the UST thing, but really nobody would have seen that coming. But still, it remains the same that reserving some of these things until things are 100% certain is beneficial. So I stand by it.
No, you're definitely right. But Felix actually had a real question because he knew you wouldn't answer him. Real question for the team. What was your introduction to DeFi? Like, what was the first coin you bought that wasn't a gas token? That's actually a good question. I don't even know this.
I'm actually embarrassed to say it. It was 2017. It was XRP. XRP in 2017 was the bee's knees, right? It was the Dogecoin at the time. It had so much utility.
Go on and tell them the whole story there.
Yeah, I've got I put like $300 into it, and by no means was I a made man. So 300 was huge,
and like 200 of my money into it.
Yeah, yes, half of that stack is. I can actually still. I know what the wallet is, but I lost it. I've moved so many times. I actually lost my key to the. What was that wallet called? They had a specific wallet on your phone, and they discontinued it, but you can actually get on it on a GitHub link. It's so weird, but my password doesn't work for it, and I don't know where the hell it is. And I've tried every iteration. I'm confident they've scammed me. But it doesn't matter. I got XRP and I bought it off Binance when Binance wasn't split between EU and US. And I let that sit, and it's actually lost money after 3 years. So don't ever think that time in the market is always the better thing. Sometimes
yeah, but when XRP's $3,000 a share, a coin, then me and you are going to be in a fist fight.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that no offense to any XRP holder, but I hope it doesn't do that because I can literally look at my balance and I can't do anything about it. So,
our balance,
sorry.
All right. Biff wants to know: can you speak to any updates and timing of items on the roadmap? Are we still on track for the NFT release, trading card games, etc.? And that's actually a really good question, Biff.
Yeah,
if you're in here, thank you.
The trading card game, we're fleshing it out. I'm working with the Hatchet Pockets team. I'm pretty sure I got a meeting with them this weekend to finalize some of the documentation. So pretty much how it works is they're like an indie game studio in the back end. And so we have to work out an entire plan on paper. It has to work. All the math for the cards have to work on paper. You should be able to play it through an Excel document without any graphics, of course. So once we get that finalized and making sure that everything's implemented correctly, we're still looking for 4 to 6 months on the implementation of the game. The good news is that I'll have a working product, or at least a skeleton version, in probably like 2 months. And I'll be able to give like some sneak peeks and stuff like that. Of course, whenever we get our title, Legends of the Tundra, I'll make sure I present that to you all and try to make sure you get the hype for it, right? So yeah, of course, there's other things on the roadmap. Again, the roadmap. The roadmap is great as a fundamental thing, like that all projects should have some type of roadmap. But I feel like as I develop as like a DeFi project leader, and I know my capabilities, what's in my reach, what's worth taking risk on, and what's better for the treasury and the protocol as a whole, it will change over time. And I'm not saying that anything on this list has changed. I'm just saying that these roadmaps should never be taken as 100% fact, because a lot of things got actually moved up and moved around. The merch store is still coming very soon. But yeah, everything on that roadmap right now, as I look at it, we're developing to some extent. And I'm in talks with the people that will be developing it. So everything as is should be hitting, but those quarter 1, quarter 3, all of those things could change. I could prioritize certain things if I think it's better at that time or in this market condition. So just try not to stick to it too hard, right?
I think there are highlights of what you want to accomplish in that quarter.
Yeah.
And I think maybe as the quarters end, some things may come from third quarter that we got accomplished this quarter, or some things may be real close to being ending. It's more of like a highlight of what we want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I look at it like that. And then as I get more solidified in the roadmap that I want to present, or not the roadmap, but the more detailed roadmap of like exactly what I know I want, then I'll be updating that image. And I'll make sure that you are, first to be tagged in it so that you can see, what maybe I'm prioritizing and stuff like that. But, it's a lot of stuff and a lot of moving parts. So it's just a lot to keep up with, and I'm doing my best to make sure I'm presenting you all with accurate, transparent information as best as I can.
All right. Question number 2 from Devil. Question for the AMA. What will be the consistent revenue stream for the protocol? While trading card games seems novel, returns may not be consistent, and there will be massive competition.
I actually don't know any competition in the space for a trading card game. I feel pretty confident that it can stand on its own. Obviously, market conditions and everything else, but I'm developing a really good product, I think. And I think that it will stand on its own. As far as revenue generation from that, I think it'll be massive for the Treasury, in my opinion. Just because I know like what it entails in the price structure and like exactly what the Treasury would receive and stuff like that. So I feel very confident that one, that gives a huge boost of utility to Walrus, but also can be seen as a revenue generation for the Treasury. So yeah, I feel very comfortable with that. Revenue generation is something that's a very hot topic for me in these, like the last couple of weeks, have been really focused on trying to find something that is different than other protocols are offering, something that I can offer from Pros and Walrus as a service that, we could potentially get new revenue into without having to worry about our native assets being farmed or whatever else. So yes, it's something that's a very hot topic, and it's something that I'm working on with the Dibs team like every single day, bouncing ideas off each other. It is one of my probably like top 3 priorities right now that I'm looking towards. I want to make sure that we get that revenue generation for the Treasury because I think it's essential at these times right now.
That was a very well thought out and exquisite answer.
Thank you.
And I would tell you if it wasn't.
Thank you.
All right. Paul Dutton also wants to know the details on the new peg.
Paul Dutton! If you
We
guys
love Paul.
listen, I did an Ask Me Anything with this guy, and I knew he was a great YouTuber, and he's getting a lot of people noticing his name, Paul Dutton. I'm glad, man. You deserve it. You're a great YouTuber, man. I hope I hope you grow strong and your community gets big. If you don't have a Discord, you should open one up so that we can send some people your way, brother.
I'll flood it. All right. Then Paul actually talked about an interesting card game that I vaguely remember
Final
from
Fantasy?
Final Fantasy. Yeah, Final Fantasy VIII's card game.
Yeah, I really like the look of that post that he put out. Ours wouldn't look too different from that. I love retro games. Dylan will tell you it's kind of my thing, and I really like the aesthetic of that. It'll look a little bit different, but I think the simplicity in this is really nice, and I really like it. So I'm actually going to use this, Paul, if you're listening, as a reference image for the developers for the game because I really like it.
All right. Compounder wants to know, can we add leaderboard with some timer for the node holders for a weekly giveaway to increase the competition and add some branding to that, like a better name or a page for the website? I'll take the end part of that question. I'll let you into the beginning. I am trying to come up with some clever names for the node holder competitions, be it for the random winner or the largest node holder. So I'll put that up to a community vote later on in the weekend. I think I'll have some answers for you on that. But Austin, if you want to take over.
Yeah, so listen, the way that I pick out the node holders right now is through a JS script that LB's given me graciously that puts them out. And I just need to know, I guess, because again, I'm not amazing at developer work. I can do some grunt work and I understand coding, language, and logic. But by no means can I just craft something up. So what that entails is making sure that the Dibs team, which is about to launch a new peg token next Thursday, I'm working with them, and their developers are kind of taxed out on that. So of course it's on my priority list because I really like the idea of having a high score nodes page, right? So I will get it done. I just have to find out if I have to use, or if graciously that LB would help me develop something like that. Then yes, of course, I want to put a high score list. I think that's really cool. And I think it gives you a bit of a competition stance where more people may node up, right? So yeah, definitely want a node high score page. As far as priorities, I've been really focused on a lot of other things right now just because nodes as is are already working. In fact, let's touch on that. The nodes are going nuts. You guys are doing crazy good with these nodes. Where are we at? I'm pretty sure that we're almost at 2,000 Walrus nodes. We're at 1914. About 74K TVO locked in that one, and about 15K locked in the other one. So we officially have we have 90K locked up in nodes. That's actually crazy if you think about it. We own, or that, the protocol owns, and that contract owns so much protocol and liquidity. It's gaining so much stability. The proof's kind of developing this community with no shill marketing, right? And no, and just like being honest and having integrity and preaching that to you all and showing it, and then developing these products for you. It kind of worked, and I haven't seen it be done before. And it's crazy to see like us focusing on deep liquidity. Nobody in the chat's getting like worked up just because we drop, not putting single stake in. All of these things, if you think about it, most tune forks get irrational sometimes in these circumstances, and you all haven't. And it's amazing to see, because I've been in a lot of tune forks. You guys have to understand, I still am a full degen. And I see what other communities, bolster and produce. And it's just it's not to my standard of what I would do in my communities. This is obviously not speaking about Grape or any of the other popular ones you may be thinking. I'm just speaking in general for tomb communities. You guys are educated. You want to educate. You want to be more educated. You have, great conversation in the chat. It's just really awesome to see organic growth working in that circumstance. But I did want to trail off of that and let you guys know that at the end of the day, we have built some solid foundation. And, with that, I want to make sure that Frozen Walrus can reach new people. And we can simply say that we're going to try for organic growth this entire time, right? But we do need marketing to some extent. So obviously I have a YouTube channel. We've grown it over 300 subs in like probably a week of me like actually pushing it, right? So we're building a platform on YouTube, and I'm making like protocols that I trust or know. I'm making videos about them to try and like my Titan video that I did got like 2,000 views. So we start small and we build that platform, and then Frozen Walrus Academy can go on there. And all these different avenues that Frozen Walrus is branded on, all of that. Like even my transition screen is Frozen Walrus, right? The intro is Frozen Walrus. And if I cover these other ones, people are going to be asking, what is Frozen Walrus? So, I'm looking at it in that aspect. Of course, I want to make sure that I market myself. But my stance on YouTubers has always been the same, but there are some good ones, right? And so here's the metrics I'm looking at whenever I look to make a new video or, purchase someone to do a video for me. First I'm going to join their Discord community and watch their videos. I probably, with this most recent person that's about to develop a video for us, I stood in his community for about an entire day, just checking on the activity, what the users are speaking about. Is it intelligent discussion? Are they actual investors? Do they have bought it views? I've started checking if they have bought it views, because it happens so often. Like, I'm being extremely cautious, and I have to, me and this person and this individual, I don't know if he's actually in here, he may be, but we had a 3-hour conversation, and only probably an hour and a half of that was about DeFi. He's a very passionate person, and he represents protocols well and doesn't take anything about being undervalued or overvalued. He speaks strictly on what we've done, what we're going to do, and how he feels about the protocol. And he represents that to his community of people that work full-time jobs and aren't able to search charts all day or look through announcements all day. And that really resonated with me, that maybe I should step off my high horse of saying like every YouTuber is a shill and stuff like this. And also like work with these people that are actually developing good DeFi communities and they just have a YouTube platform. So that is just letting you know that like obviously my stance on marketing has always been the same. I'll never just pay for a video for someone just to cover me or cover Frozen Mars. But I will look for lucrative opportunities to get our branding out there and to get our name out there. And I hope that you guys trust me enough to make that, because I know there's probably not a lot of people that really give a shit about that. But like I did a lot of research on this person, and I will do that in the future to make sure that it's not harmful or gives the effects of what marketing shilling can do to a protocol. So yeah, maybe that was long-winded, and maybe you all didn't care, and maybe you are going to say, yay, marketing. But it was important to me that I made the stance clear and why I kind of stepped back from my initial stance of no YouTube marketing, right? That's it.
I probably should have stopped you a little bit sooner. I'm gonna bypass a couple questions and then come back to them. But Avery from Magic is in the chat. Shout out Avery and Magic. He said, "When Magic AC video."
True. I actually should make a video about you all. I mean, I only have
I
like
said I'm
300
gonna set it up.
subs.
So now you're gonna make me look like a liar if you don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'll do a video on you guys. You know, I'm just trying to look for channel growth. I'm not looking for like to start being a paid chiller or anything. That'd be ridiculous. I don't take money for my videos, but wouldn't it be kind of cool if I grew my YouTube platform really big and then the money I get for videos is our revenue generator? Like I just put that back into the treasury. That'd be pretty cool. I actually
Would be cool.
I actually thought about that a lot. Like if I can get the big boy buys of these, you know, of these protocols that are actually good, potentially get some of that back into the treasury. I think that would be pretty cool. But you know, that's just me thinking.
Well, to piggyback off that, first I'll ask: does anybody have a question? If you want to raise your hand and come up before me or Austin keep going.
Yeah, feel free to ask some
I've
questions,
got
guys.
I've got a shit ton of questions in the chat from all day because Austin asked at 9 o'clock this morning our time. All right, I'll keep going. OWeb TV Crypto also asks, if AVAX crashes from this level down 30, down 40% or more in this bear market, what's the plan to limit the damage that it would do to the treasury?
Well, the treasury
We
allocation.
kind of answered that.
Well, I think it's important to touch on it. Yeah, so the treasury allocation is only 10K out of our 250K, which again, some of that is obviously our native assets, but they do hold weight to some extent. It's only 10,000. We made small purchases and dollar costed in. And I would like to also like say, honestly, if AVAX crashed another 30 to 40%, I would probably put another DAO vote to see if you guys wanted to DCA back in. These AVAX prices will go back up. I believe in the team, and I wouldn't be building on AVAX if I didn't, right? So it would be silly of me to be like, we would sell all our AVAX. No, AVAX will be here, in my opinion. And so, you know, the only thing I would do at that point would either be buy more or keep farming it for what we're getting it for, which is like 15% APR.
I think people are waking up to AVAX, the people that didn't really look at it before. I mean, you've got Enter NFT. They're coming over to AVAX this week, I think, or this month at the release. So AVAX is coming up. We got great protocols coming over. More being built every day. If AVAX dips down 30 or 40%, I'm throwing the book at it personally. I know Austin will too.
Yeah, I actually just made a $2.5 grand purchase of AVAX today. You know, whatever. If it goes down even more, I'll just buy more. I don't really care. I don't really care about the pricing of AVAX in this current moment, other than knowing it's undervalued. Would it be smarter to wait? Sure, but could it go back up? Yeah, nobody knows what's going to happen in this shit market. And AVAX and DeFi may decouple from the regular markets at some point. And go up, right? AVAX did this the last time Bitcoin crashed in the 60s and went down really hard. AVAX went up to 120 and stayed there for an entire week. You know, you don't know. People can TA all they want, but in these uncharted times, nobody knows what's really going to happen with DeFi and the pricing. So, what else you got?
All right, I've got a lot. Let me see here. Let me get back up. Devil wants to know. I asked the same question above. This was piggybacking off the question I just asked, just like last bull bear market, top 10 to 20 coins are totally displaced. Very few teams apply a portfolio management strategy to their treasury investment. How much of the treasury is going to invest into this AVAX node, and where does this one investment weigh on the risk scale? How are we balancing out the risk so the treasury isn't wrecked because it's too much?
Well, of course, I think that we've made an intelligent purchase of AVAX, right? If it goes down to $10, I still think it was an intelligent purchase because one, it's not that risky to the treasury to start accruing AVAX at this level. So I don't think that it was a risk at all of our like current treasury. Because we have a goal in mind for that AVAX. If it gets cheaper, then we just get a node faster, or we get the AVAX to decide if we want to make a validator node. And obviously, yes, in a bear market, things are going to get displaced. Shit's going to hit the fan many of times. What are we doing specifically? Well, me and Beyond have a very strict schedule for our treasury management style, our allocations, and we adjust it on the daily, and we have daily chats in the morning, my morning, his night, and my night, his morning. And we're looking to adjust it again to make sure that we have stables to back the protocol. We're only 3 weeks old, and to have a 250K treasury, in my opinion, is really good. And if you want to strip away all of those assets, then it's probably about 150K or maybe a little bit less. I still think in 3 weeks, that's really good. And it's going to keep growing. Granted that we stay above peg. If we go under, we'll just have to, work on it. But it's something that we actively manage and actively look at. And I feel like there's a lot of teams that don't care about their treasury at all. And I feel like, it was something that I kept in mind from the very beginning when I said that I wanted 30% of the expansion phases going to the DAO allocation. And so, we control most of the supply. We're using it to our advantage, to the investors' advantage. And we're doing the best we can with the treasury that we have, and I think it's going to continue to blossom.
Hell yeah. He posted a couple pictures of some ETFs.
Yeah, I really like that. I was looking at them,
I
but
did too.
I was going to have to. I know there's one on AVAX, but now I can't remember what it's called that you can buy like an ETF. So if somebody knows that, feel free to send it in the chat because I just cannot for the life of me remember the name. But it was very similar in the regard to you got exposure to a lot of different assets for a stable price. And I would be more than happy to invest in that if the treasury wants to allocate some money to it. If we put a proper proposal up, right? So yeah, if somebody can find me that on AVAX, I'd be down for putting up a proposal later on. Again, when we've accrued stables and we're past these kind of shaking down times of the market where we don't know really which way it's going to go. It looks bad, and we don't know which way it's going to, we don't know if there's going to be relief anytime soon. So I think we need to plan for the worst, right?
And he follows those questions or those screen caps up with another question. I think this is his last one. Have we considered incubating another project or treasury fund as opposed to buying assets outright? I don't know how much it costs to stand up a project, but might be a cost benefit analysis show that incubating projects provide a higher return potential than just buying an asset.
So if I'm understanding that, and I read this over just briefly before I got on here, if I'm understanding it correctly, it feels like what he's asking is, would we invest in a project or like own one or start a new project with a new team, like give them the money, here's a launch pad and grow it, and then we'll take a percentage of that. And do you feel like that's exactly what he's asking as well?
That's what I've read, yes.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, obviously, if we get to a position where I feel like we're stable enough to begin doing launch pads and like facilitating new projects, of course, I would look into it. I want other people to have the same opportunities that Frozen Mars has given me. If there's a strong proposal and a strong team that wants to build and needs the funds, and my Frozen Mars ecosystem and my investors can benefit from it, then that is something that, of course, I would look into. It might be GMX crazy. I'd have to look. GMX is the one that's like the on-chain trading, right? I don't know if they have the ETFs. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. I can't remember. But it was literally like you go into it, you can buy a full basket of assets like an ETF fund.
All right. I think that's all the questions we have so far. Does anybody want to raise their hand and ask a question?
All right, everybody shy. Again, that was our main hot topics. I'm trying to make sure I'm running through my head right now to make sure I didn't miss anything, just in case.
You wrote it all down.
No, I made some quick notes.
Man,
I think it's important to know that the important things in these times, right, is that we do have a treasury management system, right? We're working on it actively. And I think we're doing a good job. You can be the judge of that. It's open to interpretation. But I think we're doing a very good job in these conditions. And then we're going to keep building. I have really strong teams that choose to work with me, like Magic, and they're amazing auto compounders and what they're building, outside of that, and then great. They're powerhouses. They're at 12 mil TVO. LB is the captain, right? And they do so many good things. Dibs Money Team develops very big products and ships, really custom, not forked code. All of these people that I inline myself with, I have this networking capability of being able to, they benefit off me, I benefit off them, and we have this, like, I don't know what you call it, but we all prosper because we're trying to build together rather than separate. So we have this like mini mega community in DeFi right now. It feels like everybody kind of knows each other and we're gaining new people. And it's really exciting. I like it a lot. And I like the relationship that we're building. And then even past that, I'm building a YouTube platform and I'm constantly on shows with Dow King and Almost Owen and Golden and Orbital Swap and all of the things that entails. There's so many things we can do at this point. And I feel like I have the means to execute it. So I'm just really excited. GDB, come on up, man. Number 2, he must be on his iPad.
Oh no.
Oh
shit, it connected. Boom.
Yeah.
First time.
That's my iPad for you. Oh hell yeah. I've been watching on YouTube and I had the feeling it was about to end, so I just want to ask this quick question. Is the plan to find more burning ways to like burn W share and Walrus, and because I really like that gladiator thing.
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it?
I really like that.
It looks really cool. I think they made
it's really a cool idea too.
Yeah, it is. So obviously the good news about Walrus is that we cut inflation early. We did a big bootstrapping, and so our inflation's already kind of tapered with the boardroom coming down on the, we're at 861% that APR in the boardroom, and we're at about probably like 1.1% inflation. So it's very minimal already, because everybody in here already knows this is for a long-term project, and if you get 0.5% to 1% daily, that's still a godsend. I hope that most people know that. And it's a lot more sustainable. So we already kind of hit it on that front, that we didn't have to do the DGen APRs for so long and inflate our supply. So 291 is really manageable already for the amount of liquidity that we're building. But of course, more burn mechanisms. Obviously, we're going to be implementing the nodes with a burn feature. We're going to be implementing, we have the KOC that has a huge burn feature. And then of course we have Magic Auto Compounders that have a burn feature. Now natively, obviously the trading card game will use Walrus entirely to trade with, or that's the goal right now, is that making Walrus tradable as the currency in our own NFT marketplace for the cards. I want to use that to have some type of fee that burns it. So yeah, everything that we do is, obviously to manage the liquidity for the amount of Walrus in existence. And then also finding ways to make sure that we have mechanisms that are automatically burning some of that supply as well. So yeah, we currently have 3 in 3 weeks. So maybe we'll have 4 in 4 weeks. But I feel like 3 at the very beginning is a pretty good start, right?
Yeah. Nah, just keep chucking them on the fire.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
do it. By the way, I just watched Top Gun, right?
Uh-huh.
Best
it?
Film I've ever seen.
Oh man.
No shit.
Okay, no. Okay, that was a lie. But it was honestly really, really good.
Oh, well then, hell yeah. I think it came out for download. I can stream it in here if I want.
Nah, come on. Man, honestly, right? You got to watch on the big screen.
Nah, you got to watch on the big screen. That was just a joke.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right, anyway. Right.
All right, brother. I appreciate you coming up.
All right. Speak to you soon. Bye.
All right. Yeah, so I guess closing notes, we have a new Walters assistant. I think he may be listening on YouTube, but I don't know that if he's in the actual Discord. So if you want
He
to,
was earlier. Let me look through here real quick. He was definitely in here earlier, but yep, he's still here.
okay, well then go ahead and take it over.
I think this is a no-brainer this week. There's still some tight competition overall. We've got a couple of people here that are always willing to help, but this person goes above and beyond. I mean, the man wakes up in the middle of the night to check on Walrus. You can't beat that. He goes to bed thinking about Walrus. He wakes up thinking about Walrus. He is the one and only DeFi master. Let me see what I can do here. Get you your tag, but DeFi master, you are this week's Walters assistant. And honestly, you deserve it, man. You are incredible. I love reading everything you post every night, every morning. You're just always so positive and always willing to help people. So, boom, right?
Congrats, man. Yeah,
You're
honestly,
orange.
I know why people think you're a bot, and it's hilarious.
It's great.
But the way that you structure your stuff is so perfect. It really does help new people. So I appreciate you being in the chat. Congratulations on the Walters assistant. Make sure that you send me your wallet, and I'll send you the walrus to it. So, yeah, thank you for being on literally all the time, like me. It makes me feel not so crazy that I do this, right?
Yeah, him and you are very similar in that regard.
Yeah, so the NFT giveaway, me and Beyond have had some scheduling conflicts, so I wasn't able to buy, but obviously I will buy it, but it will have to be given away tomorrow. But I'm still going to give out I'm going to obviously paste out the winner. Oh, DeFi Master's asking to come up and speak.
We got a special hand. We got a special hand in the air. Bring him up.
Where's he at?
He had his hand up.
Hey, check it out. Get back up here, DeFi.
Come on. There you go.
Yeah, so I'm gonna share my screen on YouTube, of course, and we're gonna do the random number generator and pick out our NFT winner. Now, this AVAX Punk, if you don't know about them, they have a lot of they're OG. They're one of the first AVAX NFTs that I know of. They have a Discord group with, I'm sure, large whales that have accumulated a lot in AVAX, and they give out call outs and stuff. It's a good community. So obviously, if you have it, you're welcome to sell it. But I'm going to be looking to get one that's in the same realm or the same price range as all the other ones that I got. So it won't be the base one. It'll be a little bit more expensive. So hopefully you guys can appreciate that. So I'm sharing my screen right now. We have 42 voters. I have a random number generator. Let me actually make sure I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So I'm going to click it once. That's not going to be it. And then I'm going to click it again. So generate. 26 is not it. This will be it. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sorry, I know you voted for the other one, but I'm gonna give it to you. So I am gonna post this up in the Ask Me Anything chat. That is the winning wallet of the NFT giveaway. We'll open up a new one probably tomorrow after I give away that one. But congratulations. I hope you guys are enjoying that. I actually really enjoy doing this every week. I just like giving away stuff, I guess. But it's really cool that we get this opportunity to use our Walrus shares for something more than just like staking them in the boardroom. It kind of has like a little bit of weight to it, right? So, yeah, congratulations on that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to cover. We're hitting right at that money point, right there at the hour-long mark. Dylan, did you have any closing comments, or did you see any other questions?
Togo just asked, does Magic still have 3% tax, or is it linked to the Walrus temporary tax? It is the Walrus temporary tax. It is 2% this week. Tomorrow it will go down to 1%, and then next Saturday we will be non-taxable.
That's correct.
Yeah. DeFi Master, if you want to raise your hand again, we will bring you up now. I don't have voice changer yet. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Hey, we totally get it, man. He wants to remain in, and I completely understand that.
Oh man, yeah. Don't worry about coming up.
Yeah. No big young. As soon as you get your voice changer, though, we'd love to hear from. Does anybody else have any questions tonight? Well, happy Epoch in 2 minutes.
Will I announce the node winners? Yes, that comes out tomorrow at 12:08. At my tomorrow, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. And then I usually do it Sunday morning. I'll run it through the program and get the top noders and pick a random noder from each. And then I'll announce it on that Sunday. And then we'll start again.
Young Lex, was that your wallet? I hope so, because I love X.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Somebody's getting it, though.
Somebody's winning that.
All right, guys. I think it's important to know that me and Dylan kind of bullshit for the last 10, 15 minutes. I'll probably turn my YouTube off, and we'll just kind of chill out with Walrus. If you're listening, you can turn Walrus down by right-clicking him, go to user volume, and turn him down. I cannot physically turn him down. He will not stop. Can't stop.
Walter does not have a muzzle. Walter does not care about your volume. Walter is a whole vibe, and he is what he is.
Yeah.
Can't stop him.
So, thank you for being here. I guess Dylan needs to pick who gets the Walrus share tonight.
Oh, yep. Hold on just a second. Let me run it through the good old R. Well, it's not as sophisticated as going to Google and hitting RNG. So give me just a second here. I've had to type everybody's name in. Hold on just a second. It's loading. All right, Razdog.
Razdog. I don't know who that is. So.
Razdog, congratulations. You've won a Walrus share.
Is this... How do you spell it?
RASDOGG.
There it is. Thanks, DeFi Master. Congratulations again. Make sure if you feel comfortable, or just get like a random wallet. I know some people don't like being doxxed on their wallets, so just send me a random wallet. I don't track wallets, so it doesn't really matter to me what you do. Razdog. Make sure you DM me your wallet address so that I can send that Walrus share over tonight. I know that Top Gun did game night last night. There is still 2 winners to send that Walrus share to. I'll be doing that tonight. So apologies for not getting that out last night. I had some family over, but it'll get out tonight. I'm good for it. I promise. If there's nothing else, I'm gonna go ahead and
put. I'm good for it.
I'm gonna put the old jazz back on and let Walter play some of you goons out. Resume.
Yeah, and now's bullshit time. Happy Epoch, everybody. It's 8 p.m. It's 8 p.m. here on the East Coast in Kentucky. Happy Epoch. Enjoy your print. We're doing amazing.
You know, it's
Austin,
so weird.
We're doing really well.
Yeah, I know. We have a lot of liquidity.
I think we've hit our stride.
I hope so. I mean, obviously we have some more dumps to go through, and so, yeah, Kentucky is East Coast. You know, obviously there's some things that we still have to do, and I honestly feel like the more work I do, I learn so much in that time that I'm working on these things that I think up 15 new things that come into my focus, and I have to write them on a board and prioritize them. It's just my brain is constantly working on this particular thing. It's constantly trying to figure out the problem and the solution. So it's been nice on my brain. It makes me feel like I got purpose. You know what's weird is that on live stream, the reason I want to turn it off is so that I can vape. People don't know that I vape when I vape in front of a ton of people. But I just don't. I don't like it. I don't like it when people see that me vaping. Maybe some people think it's unprofessional or whatever. But I'm a nicotine addict. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Fun story. I always mute myself before I vape. It's the same situation. I actually, oh, we got a hand up. I've actually gone weeks without telling people that vape. I'm embarrassed by it, but at the same time, I'm not going to quit. I love nicotine, and it's not going away.
Yeah, man, I'll probably die doing this shit. I watched my dad do it for years and years. So,
But from cigarettes, and we have the benefits of nobody knows what the fuck vape juice is going to do to our lungs. So, long term.
True that. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna vape now that nobody's watching.
Did you cut the live stream off?
No, but I'll go ahead and turn it off. I don't like doing it because then I feel like we talk about something that I forgot to talk about.